It's 7:30 on this Wednesday night and my phone is ringing, but more importantly, it means it's time to find out if you like it or not. I'm producer Chris, and tonight we're talking about set lists, Hall of Fame nominations, the Mamba mentality, DVDs, and whether you need to clean up after dining out. And I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just always on call. High demand. That's what's happening over here. It's actually people calling to pitch segments to me. In the meantime, though, let's talk about how you can join us live while I sort through all of this. We're streaming. There's a lot of different ways to do it. If you're watching on YouTube, leave some comments in the chat. We'll read them coming up in just a little bit. If you're watching on the Fox Local app on your connected TV, make it a two-screen experience. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code, and get your hot takes ready. If you're watching on our website, fox5dc.com, or Fox Local on your phone, and you can't scan the QR code, but you want to join the Zoom room, we made it easy on you. I have a link to it on my Instagram page. That's Fox 5 Producer Chris. It's also in the broadcast channel through Fox 5's Instagram page. We're also streaming live on TikTok behind the scenes. Same name, Fox 5 Producer Chris. You can check it out there. We'll check in with all our virtual co-hosts coming up here in just a second. And just a reminder, you can join at any time throughout the show. You just need to scan that QR code or go click on the link. In the meantime, though, let's say hello to our in-studio guest host. Please welcome back Lit 106 host Khadijah Corey.
Hello.
Khadijah, how are you?
I'm doing great. I can't complain.
Welcome back. It's been a couple.
I know.
I mean, the last time we hung out, we were actually doing the Take It Two
Yeah,
together.
we were. Yeah, we
Uh-huh,
were. And it was some
uh-huh.
good topics over there, so I'm excited for today.
You're excited for today?
Yes.
All right. Well, what's new with you otherwise?
Besides being a life insurance agent, serving the community, and just educating people on financial literacy, I'm on the radio every Saturday, 10 to 3 with Autumn Joy Live. And then, CIAA weekend is here, so super excited. Shout out to all the HBCUs out there. So I'm excited to go hang out in Baltimore for a little bit.
I love it. I also got to meet some of your Lit 106.
Yeah, my coworkers.
Jason Miller was on the Live Zone Primetime recently. We had Marquise from the Morning Experience on the show not too long ago as well. So I was saying that, the Lit 106 team has their fingerprints all over Fox 5, and I love to see it. All right, let's dive in. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right, first up, we are heading out to Vegas, Sin City, because you may have seen today, heavy metal legends Metallica announced a fall residency at the Sphere. The 8-show Life Burns Faster run kicks off October 1st and will run through Halloween. It will also continue what the band calls their no repeat weekend tradition. That means no songs will be repeated on each Thursday and Saturday throughout the course of the run. They also sell tickets in bundles. You can buy a 2-show experience on that Thursday and Saturday, which means if you go to both shows, you will not hear the same song twice. They started that tradition back in 2023. But Khadijah, this idea of the no repeat weekend, if you're not buying tickets to both shows, do you like it or not?
I don't like this one. I mean, what if I can't make it to the certain show that is going to be super, super cool? Like, I already feel super bad when I miss a guest appearance or the celebrity comes out or something. Even when I'm not in that particular city, I feel some kind of way, right? But darn, I need to know the full set list. I come prepared.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Do you look up the set list ahead of time?
I'm one of those people, I kind of do, depending on the artist. If not, I just go for the vibes and just, I just know I'm going to hear one of my good songs. But other than that, I kind of do just to prepare. Maybe on my way to the concert, I'm listening to it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my next question.
Okay.
When you are paying to go to a show, do you expect to hear the hits every single time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because most of them, they're always playing their new songs on the way. We don't care about that right now.
No new crap.
We don't care about that.
Khadijah Corey.
We don't care. We want to hear the ones
25th.
that are in rotation constantly that made me want to come out here. Those are the songs I want to hear.
And that was, if I'm not mistaken, one of the early criticisms of the Cowboy Carter tour was that it was only songs from Cowboy Carter. And then a little later in the tour, she added that sort of interlude where she did, let's call it a blast from the past.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Some of the oldies. Exactly.
All right, let's check in with the Zoom room. Allison's in there tonight. Allison, I know she was at Cowboy Carter, but Allison, this idea of no repeat weekends, do you like it or not?
I don't. I feel the same way Khadijah does. You don't want to miss the hits. It's like there's certain songs that you know that they're going to play, your artist is going to play. And if you don't hear it, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be looking for it. You're going to be singing it on the way to the show. No, I definitely don't like that.
Okay, let's see what Melissa thinks. Melissa, no repeat weekends. Do you like this or not? And do you look up the set list before you go to a show?
I actually don't. As a matter of fact, the last worst experience that I had, I went to a Mary J concert last year for my birthday. It was a gift. And this woman was lip singing. She was high as hell.
What?
I literally did not want to, I just wanted to walk out because I was so disappointed. She was not singing, you know, she was not dancing the way she normally dances. And I was just so upset and frustrated that I have not bought any other concert tickets. I think this is a stupid idea. Hits should always be played no matter what day they're going in. And I shouldn't have to buy, you know, 2 tickets for 2 different days just to listen to all his albums or whatever songs he's going to be playing. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I know that they have their diehard fans, and I know
Yeah.
when it comes to something like a Vegas residency, people might be willing to spend a little more. Chad, you're a musician on the side as well. Chad, do you like this idea of no repeat weekends? And should bands play their hits every time when people go to see them and are paying their money?
As a musician, I like the idea of like being able to switch up your set. Can you imagine? And it seems glamorous to be a musician, a traveling touring
Gets
musician.
boring,
Can you
right?
imagine playing the same songs every single night? Oh my God, it actually does get tiring. But as a consumer, I think I was just saw an interview with John Cougar. He's just playing just his hits from all his decades of music. And I didn't see the band you were talking about. I came in a little late.
It was
but
Metallica.
They got a big catalog of music. So I think for Metallica, I would like to see different songs. I wouldn't mind, actually. So I'm going to say I like it.
You like the
No
no repeat
repeats.
No
Yeah,
repeat
I do.
weekend. David, do you agree with Chad? Do you like this idea of the no repeat weekend? And do you look up set lists before you go to a show?
First of all, I want to say that the special effects that they had on the Sphere with the Metallica thing, that looked like Terminator, you know, like dropping in. Terminator he arrived. He's ready to, you know, kick butt. And then, I don't know. I don't know what I think about. I don't like it. I'm more inclined to agree with Allison and Khadija there. You know, where if I go to a concert, I want to hear the hits. You know, and but I'd also like to hear the rationale. I want to know if it's what they purport. If it's, you know, so fans don't hear the same song, or whether it's like you're saying. They just get, or so what Chad's saying, they just get sick of playing the same song over and over, you know. So I don't know. I would rather make sure I hear the hits, and no, I don't look at the set list. I just assume I'm going to hear the songs I want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. You're going in blind but hoping.
Exactly.
So I have mixed feelings on this, but I tend to agree with everyone who says that they want to hear the hits. No repeat weekend is not for me. I had an experience this past summer where the Avett Brothers were playing at Jiffy Lube Live. David Kaplan went to the Friday night show, and he's texting me afterwards in like, oh my God, I'm going on Saturday night. He went Friday night. He was like, it was the greatest show. They played every song. You're going to love it. And then I went on Saturday, and I did not recognize a single song. They were like, you know what? We're going to go deep into our archive, and we're going to play all the songs that you guys never heard before. And it was great. It was a great show, but it was slightly disappointing. On the other hand, you know, my wife and her sister, they love going to see Dave Matthews, and they do look up the set list for like the Friday night show when they go to the Saturday night show afterwards. And then they're inevitably disappointed because they were like, oh, son of a, he played all the songs I wanted to hear last night. And they know walking in that he's not going to play them again the next night, which can be disappointing, which is why I also don't like to look up the set list, because I don't like to go in thinking I'm going to be disappointed. On the other hand, I have read about bands like U2 where their favorite song to play is like one of their least popular songs for fans. And so, you know, it's kind of that what makes me happy versus what makes the audience happy, and you got to kind of find that right balance.
What are we paying you guys for? If
Exactly.
We're not getting what
Henry
we want.
Winkler, the Fonz, when he was here at Fox 5 and someone asked him, like, do you ever get sick of people coming up to you and going, hey, he said, you know what? That's the only reason people know who I am. That is why I've had the career and the life that I have had. So I am honored when they came up to me. So be honored when we want to hear Enter Sandman every single show, Metallica.
Exactly.
All right, that's my 2 cents. Let's go from Vegas to Cleveland now,
Okay.
because you may have seen this as well. The new list of nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame dropped today. The class of 2026 hopefuls include The Black Crowes, Jeff Buckley, Mariah Carey, Phil Collins, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, Billy Idol, In Excess, Iron Maiden, Joy Division / New Order, New Edition, Oasis, Pink, Sade, Shakira, Luther Vandross, and the Wu-Tang Clan. No misses on that list at all, in my opinion. The inductees will be revealed in April, but here is my question, and it was the subject of a recent debate involving Gene Simmons. Do you like this list or not, first of all? Second of all, is it time to change the name from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to the Music Hall of Fame? Because some of these artists and these acts push the limit of what we would consider rock and roll, I think.
First of all, love the list. Great, legendary, iconic people are on the list. So I'm super excited that they're being honored and recognized. So that's amazing for all their hard work. And I definitely think we should probably change the name just a tad bit, or categorize maybe, because what people consider rock and roll, it may not fall into that. Like Lauryn Hill, I thought that was like an R&B soul type music,
yeah,
maybe.
No question.
Okay, Mariah Carey's R&B.
Mariah
so,
Carey, 100%.
You know, I'm trying,
accurate.
and Wu-Tang is hip hop.
Wu-Tang is hip hop. Wu-Tang is for the kids.
Yeah, you know, so I'm just
most
trying to,
importantly.
Where is the line here? I definitely think we should have Music Hall of Fame, or if you're going to do rock, we need to do a hip hop. We need to do an R&B.
Yeah. But then I don't want to visit that many different museums. So I like the idea that everything is in one place. Yeah. Allison, do you like this list, and do you think it's time to drop Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and just go with Music Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I love the list. And I don't know why it takes so long. Some of these people, I'm like, oh, they're just now getting inducted? Like, wow. But yeah, I love the list, and they should definitely change it to Music Hall of Fame, because when you hear this, you think that all you're going to hear is the name of a rock and roll group, like when you first hear that. So yeah, they should definitely change it and make it more universal in the title.
Yeah, the majority of the acts are arguably not rock and roll. Chad, the musician in the room, as well as Allison, we know she's a singer as well. Do you like this list? I mean, unfortunately, there are acts on here who are not going to make the cut this time around, which it's hard to say who that should be. But do you like the idea of changing the name maybe to make it more overall inclusive, despite the fact that they are clearly including acts from other genres?
Well, I'm going to quote my girlfriend Laura. She just yelled from the other room, rock and roll is a lifestyle, not a genre. I like that.
Okay.
I like it too, because I consider myself a rock star, and I cannot sing, play an instrument, or climb on stage.
It's a lifestyle, Chris.
It's a lifestyle. It's a look. It's everything.
Agreed.
That was it. All right, Melissa.
Yeah, that was it.
Get out of here. Melissa, what do you think?
You know, I always keep it real for a reason, right?
Yeah.
This crackhead Simmons has no business talking about what should be in this Hall of Fame, okay? First of all, I didn't like the comment that he made, that he talking about rap should not be in the Hall of Fame because of the fact that he was not raised in the ghetto, so there shouldn't be any ghetto music in there. Take your crackhead behind someplace else. This should be called the Music Hall of Fame. And I agree with everything else that this orange puppet is doing and changing names, why we can't change the name of the Hall of Fame. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair argument to make. David,
I said what I said.
David, do you think that the name should change from rock and roll specifically and embrace all genres of music?
100%. The best example there is Mariah Carey. Legendary voice, amazing music. There is no award she does not deserve, but she ain't rock. So let's not put her in the Rock Hall of Fame. She's Music Hall of Fame, legendary voice, she ain't rock though.
She ain't rock.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see if Lauryn Hill is inducted, whether she is considered a Hall of Fame member with only one album. I mean, how many other artists can you say that is the case? And that album, I mean, Jim is quoting the Sex Pistols. Is that all right? We will look this up. In the meantime, let's head back home to the DMV now, because the District of Columbia may also be the home of the hustlers, because the nation's capital, one of the hardest working cities in the country, according to a new study by Wallet Hub. The publication says it's in part because the city has the highest share of workers who leave vacation time on the table. Residents also have a large number of hours worked per week. The only places that beat out DC were Anchorage, Alaska, and Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's fascinating to me, in a way. Maybe you don't get a lot of vacation time in those two places, and so as a result, you're not taking a lot of vacation time. If that's the metric for this, I'm just spitballing here, but DC third most hardworking in the nation. Do you like this or not? Do you agree?
Alaska, you said Wyoming?
Alaska and Cheyenne, Wyoming, the two beating us out.
I don't know. I think DC is definitely should be top one, number one, only
So
one.
you think we are the hardest working?
I think so, because a lot of people move here to work. A lot of people come here for different opportunities. Working in the federal government, the White House is here. So a lot of those, especially tech agencies too. And I know they're pretty much all over, but yeah, I don't know we are number 3 though. I think we work pretty hard.
The hardest?
Maybe like New York should have been up there.
Well, that's the city that
California.
never sleeps, I hear. Melissa, do you think DC is the hardest working, one of the top 3 hardest working places in the country, or do you think DC just tells everyone we're the hardest working?
Okay.
No, you lying. I know they lying. Whoever did these statistics, they is lying. Hell no. I see a whole lot of federal workers that don't do nothing but sit on a computer and check emails, take 1 or 2 phone calls, go on the field, and then go home. Are you serious? I don't understand why New York wasn't the first one. I know a lot of people that work 3 and 4 jobs to do what they have to do just to keep an efficiency in New York. And they're going to put DC as number 3? Oh, hell no. I don't like this.
I think if they're basing it on leaving vacation time on the table, this is just people who are like doing that. They're making themselves into martyrs for some reason, or they feel like they can't. Allison, do you think someone who never likes taking vacation time would rather be working around the clock 24/7? Do you think DC is the number 3 hardest working city in the country?
I would say it depends on what type of data they use to figure this out, because again, are they going just based on PTO hours not taken? Are they going for the amount of hours worked in a certain city? Like, what data did they use? That's what makes the difference. And if it's a situation where there's more people that work, maybe there's less unemployment, I don't know. But one thing I do know just from the work that I do is that there are a lot of people that are bi-coastal that work in the federal government that live somewhere else, but they live also in DC for a little while. So they really live there, but they live here too. So we're also taking credit for people that live in other places.
Yeah.
So again, I would need to know the data to be able to answer this well.
That's fair.
Yeah.
David, I don't want to overly generalize here, but looking at this list of Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then Anchorage, Alaska, and then Washington, D.C., I think, I am just guessing here, that the people in Anchorage and Cheyenne are doing harder work than people here, at least when it comes to like maybe manual labor, than people here in DC might be doing.
I've been to Cheyenne. I haven't been to Anchorage. Hold on, Alex. And Cheyenne's a small town. I mean, it's only like maybe 12 square blocks, city blocks. And I don't know what the big industry is. They got an Air Force base there. Anchorage also has an Air Force and an Army base.
Interesting.
Maybe that has something to do with it. And and they're smaller towns with bigger military bases. So, I don't know if somehow that influences their metrics. But Washington D.C. I buy because there's so many ambitious career building yuppie types, coming to, into administrations, into help the politicians and look into, work the heck out of themselves to build their career.
Yeah.
But I would have expected, instead of Cheyenne and Anchorage, I would have expected some kind of town, one of the cities in Silicon Valley. I don't know if San Francisco itself, but someone on that peninsula, a Cupertino or Palo Alto or something like that. And one more, and I can only guess that New York isn't because probably Manhattan is, but like when you include the other boroughs, I don't know if somehow whatever metric gets diluted. I don't quite get it, but I do buy DC is way up there.
Okay, that's a very interesting take that I never even thought of, to be honest with you. I immediately went to like, if you're in Anchorage, Alaska, it's like oil drilling or something like that. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Mamba mentality and whether or not you have to clean up when you dine out. We'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back to Do You Like It or Not on this Wednesday night alongside Khadijah Corey from Lit 106. All right, let's talk about the Mamba mentality.
Okay.
Now, okay. It has dominated sports for a generation, I think it's safe to say. But sports analyst Max Brown from ESPN says he's starting to wonder if the win at all costs era is over. In case you don't know what the Mamba mentality is, by the way, it's Kobe Bryant's approach to basketball and life. Relentless, obsessed, never satisfied, no days off. Brown, however, says athletes like Scotty Scheffler and Nikola Jokic reach the top of their game without seeming all consumed by the effort. He also singled out Olympic gold medalist Alyssa Liu, who walked away from her sport at the age of 16 amid the pressure, only to return on her own terms and dominate. Brown says it shows that for some people, the healthiest mindset is also the highest performing one. So Khadijah, replacing the Mamba mentality. Do you like this or not?
I don't like it. I definitely think it is a part of culture now, if you will, and especially in the sports culture. You know, it's all about the hustle, the grind, and really putting in the work, the consistency, and the discipline when you are trying to perfect your craft. So I definitely think it needs to stay. I think it's a part of it. We kind of know, like, all right, when someone says tap into that Mamba mentality, you like, all right, I got to go hard now. Like, I got to, yeah, you got to lock in.
Melissa, do you agree? Do you think that it's time to replace the Mamba mentality with something that could be considered maybe more mental health friendly, where you don't eat, sleep, breathe, everything, all consuming?
As a triathlete and a duathlete, when I went to go and do these things, I said to myself, Melissa, you can finish this race. Melissa, it don't matter how long it takes, try your best. That encouraged me. Not only did it make me feel better, but it also gave me a self-worth and a self-accomplishment. And I literally could not have done it had not I hyped myself up. So to take that mentality away and just do whatever you want and then worry about your mental health later, I mean, come on. It's just, they just becoming so soft. I don't know what's wrong with this newer generation and wanting to change things like that. It's just not good.
Allison, the end of the Mamba mentality. Do you like it or not?
I wouldn't say end it, but I say there needs to be limitations because you definitely want to push somebody hard, especially with an athlete. You want them to do their best, but also keep in mind you have to know the athlete as well, know how far to push them. One of my children had a coach that said something very inappropriate to him about the way he's being raised with no father in the house and this, that, and the other, and what that did to my child mentally. Sometimes you have to be careful what you say and how to push somebody or know what they've been through.
Yeah, I completely understand
like that. Yeah.
I do find it interesting, though, how, you know, there are players, Chad, like Kobe Bryant or, you know, now LeBron James. And then there are guys like Jokic who might chug a beer after a game type of a thing. And just the kind of difference in attitude towards the sport that they play, but still being successful and still achieving greatness, quote unquote.
I do really admire the Bradys and the Kobes and the Jordans, but that's just not my style. Like, you know, where I'm an instructor, and you have me, and you have a couple other instructors that are really intense. So I joke around, I play fun music, I actually do stand-up in my classes, so it's much lighter. My classes are full, and the other people's classes are full. We just find our audience, and you just got to be, you know, some people like just go out and have fun and work and sweat, but some people really want to be pushed, and that's just not that's not my style. So I think there's space for both.
Yeah. And I do think sometimes taking the Mamba mentality can make up for maybe a lack of God-given talent, putting in that hard work. And then there are other people out there, David, who might just have that God-given talent and maybe don't need to work as hard to achieve the same result.
Yeah, I mean, talent will get you a long way. But someone with just a little bit less talent, working harder, going to beat you every time.
Every time.
So Mamba mentality is, you know, it produces winners, you know. And I do think, Chris, that like there is a downturn away from Mamba mentality, and like one of the evidence of that was in you know, that Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. Greatest player of all time, you know, like destroyed the league, and then but they portray him as a jerk. You know, like he's wanting the ball. He's on his teammates, pressuring him to do better. That's a leader. That's what leaders do. You know, they're not popular. They get the job done. And so I do think there's a meme going around on the internet. I've seen it a bunch of times. It references men, but it says hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times creates weak men. Weak men create hard times. You know, so it's a circle. And I think you can kind of see that with Gen X. I think you're a Gen Xer too, Chris, right?
I'm an elderly millennial.
Oh, okay. So Gen X, I think, has got mama mentality. Millennials with the participation trophy generation, I think, lost a bit the mama mentality.
Younger millennials.
But I think Gen Y is bringing it back.
Gen Y could be bringing it back. All right. Sometimes it's not the kids who need correcting. It is the parents. That's what some people online are saying after a viral post on Threads calling out a family who allegedly left a restaurant booth looking like this. And I imagine that all of us may have been to a restaurant before and seen this similar scene. Covered in crumpled napkins, spilled drinks, food all over the floor around a high chair. The caption read, "If your kid makes the mess, it's your job to clean it." The post argues servers are there to take orders and bring food, not scrape mac and cheese off the floor or pick up fries tossed like confetti. While accidents happen, many say there's a difference between spills and straight up destruction. So Khadijah, cleaning up your own mess after dining out, do you like it or not?
Absolutely, because that picture is just absolutely
chaos,
disgusting, because you have no home training, no decorum. I mean, at the end of the day, these people are making minimum wage, right? And they're not even getting, then you probably won't even tip after that.
You better tip after that.
That's insane. At least offer like, hey, can I help sweep up? Can I clean up? Do your part. Like, there's no way your child is out here just acting belligerent and a fool.
Melissa, I have to like stack every
crazy.
plate, the silverware, the napkins, everything before I even get up.
They need a pop.
I can disbelieve this must have been a buffet or something, but absolutely not. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I never had this issue when I had kids around. I never had this issue. And I stack, even if it's just me eating, I'll stack the plates together, put the napkins in, put the utensils in. That's disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. You don't have slaves and maids cleaning up after you in a restaurant. That is disgusting. Hell no. I would never allow that.
Allison, you agree with Melissa?
Yes, that is horrible. Like, I'm like you, Chris. We have to stack the plates. Everything has to be nice and neat, because you want to think about the waitress. They already don't make enough as it is. Like, be courteous and act like you have some home training.
Yeah, and if every table treated it like that, they wouldn't get any work done. Everyone would be left waiting for their food. Khadijah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
If people
me.
want to follow you, where can they do it?
About.Khadijah on Instagram. Let's connect.
All right. Thank you to everyone who joined us tonight in the Zoom room, watching on Fox 5 DC's YouTube page, and streaming on Fox Local. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. Coming up at 9 o'clock, Tony P will be with me for the Live Zone Prime Time. For producer Jim, I'm producer Chris. Fox 5 News at 8 coming your way next. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.